I'm not gonna blame you if you have a nihilistic view of the world. Everywhere you look, there's negative media. The majority of people are depressed and unhappy with their lives and anxious. The modern addictions we have to social media, video games and porn all feed on the vulnerable parts of our human brains. So it's no surprise that you feel like this, but Jeffrey will make it worse for you. The bad part of your brain, the Jeffrey part of your brain, will make you feel even worse. You'll hate yourself for feeling bad. You'll contemplate some dark thoughts that too many young men fall victim to. The Adonis part of your brain will look out for you. It will tell you that there's more to live for. There's research that shows about 40 to 60% of people in the Gen X, Gen Z are depressed. That number's far too high. I think worst of all, it's kind of like a meme. It's kind of like hip to be like depressed or anxious, to need like Xanax. All of these influencers, these rappers, these artists, they don't even realize that they're actually influencing people to be more like them. And so they rave about being depressed and, they act like it's a cool thing. And then all these little kids want to imitate their role models. We are a generation of doomers. We literally are in this era, like we live in a society. We are in this era right now where you are seen as weird for wanting to induce more positive thoughts because people will complain and shout at you and say like, no, don't, positive thinking is not good for you actually. Every old school success book which changed millions of lives, the books by Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, they will all tell you about the value of positive thinking. It's almost like a meme medicine now where people will criticize the person who tells someone who's depressed of the things that they can do to ease their symptoms. A major one of that is positive thinking. And people will criticize that person who's trying to give advice. People will say, oh, you're so insensitive. That's literally what helps. Say it with me. The way out of depression is hope. The way out of depression is hope. And so all amongst us are doomers who don't have hope. And a lot of these people, so unfortunately, have this personality where they don't even want to acknowledge that there are things that they can do to improve themselves. Our cult, our brotherhood is full of young men who were previously depressed and anxious, and we've gotten out of that. I am one of them. You are looking at someone today. I feel fantastic. I'm so positive, hopeful, loving, grateful. And 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I was at the worst point of my life. I was well and truly a doomer who thought that there was nothing to live for. I've spoke to people, I've had many conversations with young men who say those exact same words like, oh, there's nothing for me to live for. We need to fill these young men up with so much hope and show them the light, show them the path of Adonis and show them, okay, if you get onto holistic self-improvement, if you do self-improvement the right way, if you improve every pillar that can be improved, if you start by meditating, doing gratitude journaling, by thinking positively, by having hope, by exercising, by getting out into nature, by doing childish things like climbing trees and jumping over puddles and taking a picture of your favorite leaf, you will feel better. But we sound insensitive because we're supposed to say to, like, this is the modern like Twitter era, we're supposed to say to a depressed person like, yep, you're depressed and it's gonna stay like that. That is seen as a more conventional, like normal thing to say than to say to someone who's feeling depressed, okay, here is exactly what stops a human being from being depressed. Get away from the screens, go outside into nature and actually live life. And then all these Jeffreys will disagree because they want to strip hope from the depressed people for some reason. And they'll say, no, see, you're wrong because 7% of people are clinically depressed, so your advice wouldn't work for them. So you're telling us that our advice would work for 93% of people? That's pretty good. And these guys who disagree with us are also ignoring the fact that this advice of holistic self-improvement will still work for those 7% who are clinically depressed. You can still make progress. There's always little bits of improvements to be had. So what defines a doomer? They're hopeless, nihilistic, negative / limited thinking. And this is very, very tricky, right? To help, let's say, a young man who's fat, it's not hard. To help him, okay, let's get him a personal trainer, let's teach him the right things to eat, let's teach him how his nutrition impacts his body, his fitness, let's teach him the most effective way to exercise, which will actually result in him looking good so he feels confident about himself, which of course is resistance training, weightlifting, or calisthenics. Let's teach him all this, okay, fine, we've helped him. But the issue with this depressed doomer generation is that negative thinking, that hopelessness, where then no matter what you say to them, they can't take your advice. When that's someone's problem, what do? Honestly, I'm baffled. This is my job, this is my purpose. I wake up thinking, okay, how can I help these young men? And it's easy for me to help someone like you. I'll be totally honest, it's easy for me, it's fun for me to help someone like you. You're literally watching like a video on how to improve your life. You're literally watching like a self-improvement YouTube channel. You're trying to improve your life. You are already doing the work. You're already on this pathway. You already understand the process. That's fantastic. So all I have to do is just come to this camera, teach you about things that I've learned through my own life, through my own self-improvement journey, and you benefit, and then I benefit. Fantastic. We do the same thing with our brothers. We expand our cult, we expand our movement. Okay, fantastic. That's beautiful. How do we help the people who don't want to be helped? How do we help the people who genuinely are certain, they are 100% certain that they cannot be helped? How do you help that fat guy? Let's say you go to work in an office. How do you help that fat guy next to you who says like, oh no, I just can't lose weight. I've been on too many diets, I can't lose weight. How do you help someone who has that core belief? I'm truly asking you because I'll be totally honest, I'd love to, seem like the professional here or something. Oh, this is how we do it, bro. To someone who doesn't want to improve, to someone who totally is like full on Jeffrey, like, I don't know. There is one entry requirement to join our cult, and that is the desire to improve. Adonis will accept any man who has the desire to improve, but if they don't have the desire to improve, if they don't want to improve, if they don't want to make progress, if they don't think that they can, maybe we can't help them. But I also don't think that we should give up so easily. Because the truth is that these like doomer personality people, the ones who write so much about being depressed and lonely online, that act of them speaking about this on, like, sure, you'll see their comments on YouTube, especially on like self-improvement channels, they'll say like, nope, it wouldn't work for me because I'm not 6'3", or like, nope, like, they'll criticize your advice and they'll write comments and tweets and everything. That act of them kind of defending their arguments kind of shows that there is a glimmer of hope there. Because if they were so 100% certain in their arguments, they wouldn't need to constantly come and sort of be challenged by other people. Does that make sense? It's like if you were 100% certain of something and someone brought up like an argument to your belief, but you were 100% certain it's the fact, like the sky is blue, then you wouldn't need to like argue with it. But these guys, they routinely come to our comments and say like, nope, this stuff doesn't work. Meditation doesn't work. I tried it once. Journaling wouldn't work. They say this stuff, and I've actually done like one-to-one coaching calls with people like this. They've said this on a call with me. Guess what I said to them? I asked this one guy, how many times have you journaled? And he said, I've never tried it. Here we have a young man who is saying that journaling does nothing, that journaling would not work, and he has literally never tried it. This couldn't be like closer to those stereotypical like cringe posts that you see on Instagram that says like, well, you've got to try it to like believe it, like, those like motivational posts and stuff. There are so many people who are so certain of their beliefs and their negative beliefs that they don't even try something that potentially could help them because they just straight away think, nope, wouldn't work for me. Nope, exercise wouldn't work for me. I'm not depressed because I don't exercise. I'm depressed because I'm 5'3". This is why I think the most important thing that we can all be talking about and thinking about is our mental health and our mindsets. If you look over a bunch of videos that I've done, especially the older videos where I went really into detail, I would always say like step 0, like the most important thing, the thing to prioritize is your mental health. Because we can talk about these people, but I just want you to imagine that you are one of these depressed guys and you are so certain that nothing will help you. It might be hard to imagine because you've got such like a positive, hopeful mindset, you're on self-improvement now. But if you really put yourself in that person's shoes and really think, okay, I am so certain that self-improvement won't help me, that meditation doesn't work, how could you make any progress? Watching this video would piss you off. Watching any of my videos would piss you off. You'd stay stuck like that and you'd go into your own little communities of people who are like-minded and you just go deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. I wish that I had better advice in this video. I wish that I could say, oh yeah, well, this is exactly what we can do to help the people who don't want to be helped. But I'm beginning to realize the real value of that entry requirement to this call, to this brotherhood. You need a desire to improve. You need hope. How do we instill hope into a young man? Perhaps through storytelling and inspiration. That's what I do on these videos. So you click on these videos, you see me talk, you've seen my story of the progress that I've made. I'm a real person in front of you. YouTube can be a little bit weird. You sometimes have that like celebrity effect. Like, oh, this is Hamza, his YouTube channel's popping off. He's almost got 500K. And you kind of forget that the person that you're watching is like a real ass, like just a human being. Just today, like a subscriber, like somewhat of a subscriber, like his friend is the subscriber, but like he just kind of stumbled into me in Muay Thai and we like trained next to each other, bro. I'm like a real ass person. I'm from Warrington in the UK. I'm currently in Thailand right now in Koh Samui. I'm a real person who just is in front of the camera right now. That story that I tell you of where I was just 2 years ago, hating my life, jacking off every day, playing video games every single day. You already know, bro. I woke up and I would literally smoke weed immediately. That is like the ultimate sign of a fucking loser. Like, I don't care how creative you think it makes you. I don't care how like much you say, oh, well, I can do my work on shut the fuck up. I can do my work whilst I smoke weed. Shut the fuck up. It helps me with the mind-muscle connection in the gym. Shut the fuck up. I don't care how much these stoners think that that's like, okay, that's the life that I was living. I was waking up and smoking weed all day, every day. I was high for work. I was high in the mornings. I was high at nighttime. I was high when it was sunny. It's a fantastic time to smoke because it's raining outside. It's also a fantastic time to smoke because it's sunny outside. Oh, you know, the mornings are so sick to smoke. Oh, you know, nighttime's good for smoking too. Like, bro, I was smoking all the time, man. And I had this mindset thinking, okay, nothing would help me. So what really helped me then? Because I really thought like this for a certain amount of time. I'm really trying to think back of like exactly what it was for me that kind of like changed my mindset. Because I remember feeling like hopeless and thinking, yep, like this is my life. And I didn't change anything for a while. Perhaps it was visualizations. It probably, you know what, it probably was. It was probably the visualization that I started doing pretty much exactly 2 years ago. Guess what I visualized? Being in Thailand, being a digital nomad who makes money online, who just does some fun project that's fulfilling. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So about 2 years ago, 2 years and a couple of months ago, I didn't like my life. I was very, very broke. Like I had literally less than hundreds of pounds in my bank account at any time. I know there's people who are a lot more broke. There's people who are like in debt and everything, but obviously it's like a 22-year-old graduate from university, working a full-time job, but working at least part-time and everything, having like literally £100, £200 in your bank account, and it gets rinsed and it gets, topped up again. It's like, it's a very, very stressful life, especially when you rent as well. And I had this visualization because maybe I watched some YouTube videos and I just started kind of like seeing myself living that digital nomad life of like, traveling around and like just having this fun project to work on. And I'd go to like cafes and I'd get a nice drink. And honestly, it was probably that which gave me hope for a better life, which gave me like the burning desire to think, oh, like, I can actually do this. I could make these videos. I could grow some kind of business that would allow me to live that life. And just today, like literally just right now, it's 6:12 p.m. Saturday the 28th of May. I've literally just come back from like a fancy ass cafe where I just did some work, I did some journaling, I was with my 2 friends. I got food there, it was really delicious. I got like a nice drink. I've come back to my villa in this like beautiful place. I literally visualized this 2 years ago and that's what gave me hope. So if you're watching this and you are like one of these guys who feels somewhat hopeless, and somehow you've just ended up, watching this far of this video. Or maybe you're watching this and you've totally got hope, you're on self-improvement, but you really want to help someone, or you just kind of want that mindset of, okay, how can we help someone who's hopeless? Perhaps the answer is visualizations. And I think every one of us could use like more hope, more motivation and inspiration for doing the hard work, especially when we don't feel like it. So it would be absolutely beneficial, 100% certain, beneficial for you to start doing more visualizations, to start seeing like the future dream that you have, the ultimate dream. This is something I promise you, bro, I read a lot of self-improvement books. I love reading them. This is something that every self-improvement book says, so I really hope you can take it. Set goals with no limitations. Dream big right now and see some kind of like image, some vision in your mind. If you close your eyes right now, see somewhere that you want to be in 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and do not hold back with that vision. Don't think, well, oh no, I wouldn't be able to do that because it's too far-fetched. Of course, like, don't be fucking stupid. Oh, I wouldn't like live on the sun. So don't be a fucking dumbass, bro. But like, you get what I mean. If someone else has done it, you can probably do it too if you dedicate your life to it for the next few years. What I've just said then, that sentence I've just said, is very, very important. Repeat that sentence to yourself. If someone else has done it, you can probably do it too if you dedicate your life to it for the next few years. If someone else has been an athlete, then you probably could too. If someone else is from the same country as you, but they've reached great levels of success and wealth, then you probably can too if you dedicate your life to it. So many guys have this like limited thinking. Well, nope, not me. The circumstances are against me. It's not me. I promise it's not me. It's not my fault. It's not my like small dick thinking. It's not that I'm being lazy. It's not that I've got limited beliefs. Oh, it's the circumstances. But Hamza, I'm from India and we can't make that much money here. Shut the fuck up. This is this comment I get all the time. Like, nope, Hamza doesn't understand the finances of my country because he says that you should try to aim for $10,000 a month. But no one makes that money. Yes, they do. Yes, they fucking do. But I'm from India. Shut the fuck up. Is there a guy in India who makes at least $10,000 a month? Yes. There's thousands. There's probably tens of thousands. So you can too. They have the same circumstances as you. Oh, but Hamza, I can't get girls. I'm only 5 foot. Is there a short guy who gets girls? Yes. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. So it isn't about the circumstances. It's about you. You need like this bit of aggression to start thinking, you know what? Maybe all my life I've been thinking so fucking negatively. I've been thinking of myself so little, and I automatically think of these excuses that it's based on the circumstances and not me. I thought for so long that I would never be able to attract girls because I was brown skinned, and I thought that every girl around me thought that I was ugly because of that. And I had this one random idea once. It was when Zayn Malik started getting famous. He was in like One Direction or something. He's like a singer. He started popping off and I was like, wait, hang on. Like girls are going like obsessive over him, and he's brown. If he can do it, so can I. Now, the guys who are watching this with like extremely small peepees, they'll say, no bro, but Zayn Malik is really famous, so you can't, like, shut the fuck up. If someone is on the extreme side and they have done it, well then it shows you, okay, surely I could make a good amount of progress and I would also get some of the same results as them. What are your limiting beliefs? Because honestly, you know, this video, I've kind of spoke to like other people, the kind of people who don't watch our videos, but you can benefit from this because I promise you right now, you have so many limiting beliefs. You have so many of these thoughts that don't serve you. And the worst part of this, you are not even aware of them. You are not even aware that you have these. We are on self-improvement. We are in this cult, this brotherhood. We are on the rise. And so we are sometimes blind to like the limitations that we have because we are so certain we're not like Jeffrey anymore. It's a fantastic practice for you to take some time and to ask yourself, in what ways do I limit myself with my thinking and my beliefs? That is how you overcome being a doomer and being hopeless. You can subscribe to our channel if you want to. Welcome to the cult. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.